Amadioha is a powerful Comic Republic comic book series that covers the story of a god from the Igbo mythology, often called the Alusi. What makes this story particularly special is that it is not one that focuses on the grand quest for power and the tribulations of a hero, but a story of a powerful god that becomes a man and is doing his best to protect his family. In this video, I'll be reviewing Amadioha issue 4. Without further ado, let's get into it. The cover page for this issue shows Amadioha with his eyes glowing as he arches over his daughter, who was still on the couch, also with a serious look on her face. This portrays just how protective of his daughter he is, as she has now become the most important in the god's life. The second cover page is a lot more interesting. It showcases the Eidos of Fear, Eru, confronting the members of the first race from the Alusi. He grabs the Warden by the neck and lifts her off the ground. Amadioha grabs his hand, which seems to be wielding some magic, and he molds his fist, ready to punch him in the face, with lightning swirling all around him. The synopsis reads: Amadioha is met with an unexpected visitor who happens to be an old friend, bearing unpleasant news. The story starts on a Saturday morning with the Warden in the corner, cleaning, while Amadioha's daughter and his familiar are helping her out with the cleaning. She asks her father's familiar, "Is daddy still sleeping?" And he replied to her that even powerful dentists need their beauty sleep. She sneaks into her father's room and, against the advice of his familiar, she goes to violently wake him up, and I'm surprised he didn't accidentally strike her. He asked her why she woke him up, and she responds, "Because it's Saturday and you promised to help me with my homework this morning." He responds, "That's true, that's true. Are you done with your chores?" Uh-huh, she tells him that everyone helped out except him. This can only happen with Gen Z kids. He grabs her and tells her what a mouth you have, and she replies, "I am Amarachi Akanu." It's to be expected. She has a strong sense of identity, that's for sure. "Alright, I've heard you. Let's go." He begins to help her out with her assignment when a knock is heard at the door, followed by a voice saying, "Is this how you treat your guests, Kamalu?" His response was, "What do you want from me, you black-hearted child?" "Daddy, who is at the door?" "It feels weird," his daughter said. She has always had the power to detect unusual and spiritual beings around her. The same thing happened in the issue 1 when she detected the evil spirits in the fires that engulfed her father's office. That level of spiritual sensitivity can only be expected from a daughter of two high-ranking members of the first race and of the Alusi. Before Amadioha could answer her question, a portal opens up and Eric Kukuyi walks out from the portal, and he tells Amadioha, "I see you are still scowling like spoiled beans." Eric Kukuyi is the Eidos of Fear, for those who don't know yet. He's a prominent character in the Comic Republic, and I have covered his story extensively in this channel. You can check out my other videos. And I now firmly believe, with his introduction, that he was the shadowy figure in Amadioha's bedroom and Ama's bedroom in the previous issue. Amadioha replies, "I see you still enjoy hiding in the shadows like a rodent." They come to a standoff. It seems they would fight, but the tension suddenly breaks when they call each other's names and hug themselves. The warden sees them in the living room and is shocked that Eru was there. It seems she also recognizes the Eidos of Fear. This guy seems so popular, kinda like an all-star, known by all members of the first race. She moves in to attack him and he immediately recognizes her, saying, "Warden, what are you doing?" Before a fight starts, Amadioha teleports to their midst and stops them in their tracks, saying, "Not another step." Eru replies, "All these theatrics for a warden. Is she your pet?" Implying a sexual relationship. And yes, I am a shipper as well, Eru. Amadioha is quite angry at that statement and glares at Eru. He informs Eric that the warden was under his protection, and Eric says to him, "So that is why she needed my help." Amadioha interrupted, "I know you didn't come here to test my patience. Why are you here, Ogunabali?" Ogunabali is the same one mentioned in issue 2, the black-hearted child that helped the warden find Amadioha's location. I thought it was a member of the first race at first, but now I know for sure it is Eru. The Eidos begins to take over Eric, and it mentions that it has been a long time since someone had called him by that name, and that he only wanted to shake the warden's hand and taste her fear. Enough, Eric takes back control and tells Amadioha he needs help. When he refuses, he lets him know that he owes him. For what, we don't know yet. But if there is anything I trust the Comic Republic for, is that they will reveal it later. Amadioha lets him know that the time for the debt to be repaid has not yet come. He continues teaching his daughter her assignments, but she just seemed confused by everything happening. So he sends her into the room so he can talk to Eric better. His daughter asks, "What about the other one who is with him?" Referring to the Eidos of Fear, because Eru was indeed two entities in one. The creature, Eidos of Fear, and its host, Eric Okoyo. He assures her that it is okay. After she leaves, Amadioha confronts Eric, asking why he was disturbing his peace. But Eric replied, he is only here because he has no other choice. Amadioha tells him to go and meet the one with the wrapper around his neck, making reference to Guardian Prime. He's telling him to meet Guardian Prime to help him out with his problems, but Eru uses this to make his point, stating that all the more reason why he needs his help. This problem was very serious, and the problem is better shown than told, as he opens up a portal for the Stormfather to follow him through. This better not be one of your tricks, Ogunabali. And Eru replies, I know better than to taunt you, O thunderous one. I don't think he is joking here, as Eru has said it before. He is no match for an elder member of the first race. The Warden tries to follow them, but Amadioha refuses, stating, I am Amadioha. Your concern is not needed where I am headed, but it is appreciated. As he tries to leave, she grabs onto his hand, saying, at least, but Amadioha snaps back angrily, saying, Child, you test my patience. And Eru also interrupts, saying, I'm mine. So she quickly composes herself, saying, Forgive me, my lord, she says. And he walks through the portal and replied, I have been doing that a lot recently. Eric taunts the still bowing Warden, saying, Don't worry, I'll bring him back with that angry scowl you love so much. And he follows Amadioha into the portal. His daughter then asks his familiar, So you know that man? The familiar, who also knows the Eidos of Fear, tells her, yes, he is the man at the end of nightmares. All those scary stories your father tells you about, he is the shadow lurking in them. Then we see Eru, the Eidos of Fear, and Amadioha get out of the portal, and they have been transported into another dimension. Or should I say, they have been transported to another level of perception. The Void. The lowest level of perception. This is the first time we have seen the Void in this storyline. It is the shadow realm of Eru, as we finally learned. He exists in this level of perception. This is a realm where Eru is God. The best thing I can liken it to is hell, where only depraved souls exist. It almost looks similar to the realm where the 7 idols were sealed in ancient times. That's probably why the Eidos of Fear has such mastery and influence over the realm. This realm of perception is truly for the worst of the depraved. You've been busy, Amadioha said to Eru. And if you read Eru issue 3, you understand that Eru captures evil souls, traps and tortures them here. That's what Amadioha is referring to by saying, you've been busy and the place is for the worst of the depraved. Eru leads Amadioha through the Shadow Realm's broken pathway in the void as he responds, Oh, immortality allows you to pursue your hobbies to the highest points. Another portal opens and the duo emerge from the new portal in Agwaku, Anambra State. Amadioha states, I see no sign of strife. What is it that you want to show me, Eric? But Eru just says to him, you will see with your own eyes that everything is not as it seems. In a nearby village, sounds of an argument are heard, and it's a regular-sized man arguing with a terrifying-looking giant with several white markings across his body. I have already gotten the consent of her Umma, meaning her family. Why then have you taken her away from me? Said the man to the giant. What's going on? Amadioha asked Eric, but he replied, Hehe, you will see for yourself. The man continued shouting at the giant, You have been nothing but a thorn in the side of the people of Aguku. Enough is enough. Eru comments that he can taste the fear of the people. He can smell the giant's fear, but it doesn't taste human, nor does it smell like anything he has ever eaten. But he does remember from Amadioha's tales that he must have encountered the thing. He took Amadioha to the skies for a better view, and just before that, the giant steps on the man who was shouting at it previously, crushing his head in one step, and the other villagers run in fear, shouting, Who will save us? A woman who I presume to be his wife didn't run. Instead, she cursed out the giant with her clothes stained by the man's blood. May the gods do even more to you, Anakule, for making me a widow on this day. May Amadioha strike you where you stand, she says, while Amadioha and Eru watch the scene from above, and Eru tells him, That's your cue. While Amadioha remains silent, his eyes glowing with divine power. The story ends here for now, but it answers a few questions and leaves us with a lot more, like any good story would. Who was the village giant? Why couldn't Eru take care of the village giant himself? What does Amadioha plan to do next? Was the giant also a member of the first race? I think the village giant is the child of Ekwesu that was mentioned in the previous issue, the one who went around killing everyone in his village by cutting off their heads. And how did he kill the poor man? By crushing his head. No one knows what actually happened to him. I believe this is the boy because Eru says he remembers him from Amadioha's tales, which is how we also learnt about the boy. This is just my theory though, it has not been clarified in the storyline yet. As the story progresses, we are going to get more answers to bugging questions, and hopefully, we see what Amadioha does after this particular incident. I'll continue to cover more about the Comic Republic and other Comic Republic characters, so make sure to stay tuned for more updates.